Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and yes, I am here with yet another project featuring Anthony's Paper Craft stamp set. Today's project is going to be using the Circle Flowers stamp set. I absolutely love these images. So many things that you can do. It would be great if you stamped it on the back of an envelope. You know, when you have your envelope closed, they would be really pretty there. But I wanted to make them the focal point of my cards. So these are great for any medium, whether it's alcohol markers, watercolors, colored pencils, anything that you like. What I chose to do is ink smushing. For some reason, I'm really geared towards ink smushing. I do tend to lean towards either mixed media type things or colored pencils, as they're usually my choices. So I had this idea. Now you're going to see that we were heading one way, and then we had to go another way, but it's not too bad, but we kept on going. Yay! So I'm going to be stamping a total of 5 images. So these 3 here, I'm actually going to use my Distress Oxides to stamp in. And I'm using for this pumice stone. I wanted to have a very soft stamped image, but I also wanted to have it to be embossed. With the oxides, since they are both a pigment and a dye ink combination, you do have that lag time before the ink will dry. So it's like when we use our VersaFine black. After we stamp that, we can put a clear embossing powder over it or a black embossing powder, and we'll be able to heat emboss them. So we are able to do that with these images. And I am using my clear embossing powder by Recollections. And again, I just wanted a soft effect of the stamp. So once these 3 are heat set, I'm going to then do the same thing with the last 2. Now there is a total of 7 images. And again, you will actually see 5 that I work with. So I chose the daffodil, the hydrangea, the lilies, the rose, and the violet. Oops. Okay, so let's do some ink smushing. This has got to be one of my top techniques. I love ink smushing. I love the effect it gives. It's never the same thing twice. I could go on and on about this. Okay, so I'm going to sop up the extra ink. Last time I didn't do that, and people, I think, were stressing because I didn't do that. Okay, so you will see me do that this time. So for the hydrangea, I'm going to be using the shaded lilac and chipped sapphire. For the rose, I'm going to be using the festive berries and aged mahogany. Now, that was kind of like a lot there, but that's okay. There was something that I was going for here. For the daffodil, I'm going to use scattered straw and fossilized amber. For the violet, I'm going to use wilted violet and, yes, black soot. And then for the lily, I'm just going to use worn lipstick. So with these colors, and again, with it being heat emboss, you're going to get these different effects. Now, for some of my images, for the daffodil, for the lily, I think those are the only 2. I'm trying to think now, which we all know can be dangerous for me. Yes. For those 2, I really liked the pumice stone because they were soft colors. For the violet, the hydrangea, and the rose. I wasn't if I would have stopped right here, the only one that would have made my eyes cross just a little bit would be the violet, because that wilted violet is extremely vibrant. I mean, I love it. It's one of my faves, but it's just really strong. And I kind of lost the image back there. Now, same thing for the hydrangea. When I added the splatters, I kind of lost the image. If I would have just stopped with the shaded lilac, I think that image would have been fine. There was a lot going on there. But we do find a way to keep going and nothing gets thrown out. Yay! Because we do. We keep going. We don't stop. So here I'm just adding, now the rose really got lost. You can see I'm actually trying to knock off what I am splattering on to the front. So still like the idea, still going with it. Just as I'm trying to make all of these panels, I'm actually thinking, okay, how can I fix this? But again, we keep going. Now, for the violet, I was going to add the chipped sapphire with it. But I do go to the black soot. I know, you're all freaking out. I know. But it looks really cool the way that it came out. So these we're just going to let dry. Now, the lily, I chose not to put any splatters because that one side of the petals, they got dark, and I really like the way that ink splattered. I like it a lot, actually. And the fossilized amber with the scattered straw, that one came out great too. That actually helped to make the gray come out. Where some of the other ones, it wasn't coming out that much. So these are the panels, and you can see I've pushed those two to the side because I'm okay with those. When it comes to these three, I'm missing something. So we dare to be daring. And what I did was I attempted to take that same image and stamp on top of it with the black soot. Now, what I need to remember is you can see, and already that is starting to look better. And once I get the clear embossing powder over it, this image starts popping out. One of the issues, though, and what I do, and I apologize, I thought I hit record. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking the black soot with each of the images. I have the other two to go, and I'm putting that on top. Now, what's happening is it's beading on top of the original embossed line, which is fine, but it's giving me that shadow. It's actually, and plus because when I stamp, it's like a CPR because I really push down. It's going off to the side. So it's giving a shadow to the image. I'm okay with it, but again, there's still something that I'm missing when it comes to this. Again, you can see I'm really putting pressure down, and I shouldn't. If I use a light hand, I would have stayed right on the top. Now, this is absolutely a different effect. I love the shadow that I'm getting. So you can see the line of the pumice stone, and then you can see the line of the black soot. It's kind of sort of cool. Plus, I was just amazed that I was able to get this on top of the areas that was already stamped. So, yay me. Yeah. Because usually, when I have to line a stamp back up, it does not work. I never do it. I never do it well, but that's okay. Again, we keep going. Now, and again, the rose is standing out as well. It's actually, for the rose, it accented the pumice stone. So there was still something that I was missing. So what I did was I removed the embossed lines. And I did that with the iron. I actually, ironed it, took a piece, just like Jennifer McGuire has shown us to do that. So I took a piece of copy paper on top of those, I ironed it, and then I picked up the embossed areas. And then what I did was I just re-stamped them with black soot. Now, I do apologize. I totally forgot to hit record on this when it came to, excuse me, when I did that. Again, they were standing out, and I really, really did like the effect. But there was just something off on those three for me. So again, I wasn't going to start over. I wasn't going to throw them away. But this is how they came out. So you can see. So for the ones that had the gray pumice stain on there, I used a gray background. I dug into my 3D folders. I am absolutely in love with my 3D folders, embossing folders. Here is a beautiful card that's masculine for Valentine's Day, and it's using one of the 3D embossed folders by Tim Holtz, Alterations with Sizzix, and it's the metal wall, even though it has a rose. You can see here, this is where the black soot came in for the violet, and you can see by me removing it, I was able to stamp right on top of that area, and then I was able to emboss that. Again, each using a different 3D emboss folder. This one's actually by Open Studios, and just letting them be the focal points and using the sentiments from the stamp set. I had a lot of fun with this stamp set, and there are so many more possibilities. I cannot wait to use this again. This is one that is definitely going to be used again, but of course this time we've got to dig into my colored pencils, and I'm sure I will have a ball color penciling these images. So I do hope you enjoyed this project. Again, it is another one, and there will be one more that is coming. Again, it's a wonderful, wonderful company. Beautiful catalog. I will make sure that the link to the company is down below in the video description, along with the colors that I used for these images and along with the 3D embossing folders. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you all are continuing to enjoy 2021. We are almost halfway through it. Again, always be positive, always smile, always try to laugh every day. And while you're laughing, always remember, be creative. Till next time, guys, take care.